O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Picture this. It's 1463. You're an aging, super powerful Italian banker, right? Cosimo de' Medici.
Right.
You've got the absolute best scholars in the world translating the great works of Plato. But suddenly, a manuscript hunter brings you a text that just stops everything.
Brings the whole operation to a grinding halt.
Yeah. You command your lead translator to drop Plato immediately and focus entirely on this new discovery. The Corpus Hermeticum, supposedly written by an ancient Egyptian sage named Hermes Trismegistus.
Which was just a massive deal at the time.
Absolutely. So welcome to today's deep dive. Using the historical articles and academic notes you provided, our mission is to explore how this single, supposedly ancient book of magic accidentally sparked the Renaissance and the scientific revolution.
It's quite the story.
Okay, let's unpack this. I mean, why should you care about a 15th century manuscript? Well, because it fundamentally rewired how humanity views its own potential.
Yeah, and to understand that rewiring, you really have to look at the medieval mindset. People generally viewed themselves as, flawed sinners in a very fixed universe.
Right, just sort of stuck in their designated place.
Exactly. But Renaissance humanists, they believed this text contained the Prisca Theologia.
The what?
The absolute oldest theology, predating even Moses. What's fascinating here is how it elevated humanity. Suddenly, humans were seen as these terrestrial gods who could, actively participate in creation.
Wow. It's like humanity suddenly figured out how to jailbreak a smartphone.
Huh. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
Before this, you just used the apps as they were given to you by nature, right?
Yeah.
But reading this text, humanity basically believed it had admin privileges to the cosmos.
Admin privileges, yes. And once they felt they had those privileges, they started trying to rewrite the source code. This is actually the core of the Yates thesis, proposed by historian Frances Yates.
Okay, and what did she say?
She realized that these thinkers weren't just praying anymore. They were experimenting. Hermetic magic didn't block modern science. It actually kickstarted it.
See, I'm struggling to connect the dots here, though. I mean, how does believing in a magical living universe actually lead to the rigid mathematical scientific method?
It seems super contradictory, right?
Yeah. Wouldn't operating like wizards make them, less scientific?
You'd think so, but it really comes down to how they practice this magic. They believed the universe was bound by these hidden sympathies.
Hidden sympathies? Like what?
Well, for example, they thought specific earthly metals were spiritually linked to the movements of specific planets. So to manipulate those metals...
To actually do the magic?
Right, to do the magic, you couldn't just cast a spell. You had to rigorously measure, observe, and calculate planetary orbits. So in their quest to do magic, they accidentally birthed empirical observation.
Wait, so they were doing science just to make their magic work?
Exactly.
Which actually explains Isaac Newton. I mean, the guy is the ultimate icon of Enlightenment rationality, but he spent vastly more time on alchemy than on calculus.
Precisely. Even his concept of gravity was initially fiercely criticized by his peers.
Really?
Purely because action at a distance sounded exactly like the Hermetic sympathetic magic they were just starting to move away from.
Wow. Okay, so we have this era where observing the cosmos to perform magic basically lays the groundwork for modern physics. But clearly, we don't treat the Corpus Hermeticum as a physics textbook today.
No, definitely not.
So how did this entire magical scientific paradigm just collapse?
It collapsed in 1614, thanks to a scholar named Isaac Casaubon. He looked really closely at the text and realized, it was a Hellenistic forgery from the 3rd century CE, not ancient Egypt.
Wait, how do you even prove a text is a forgery centuries later?
By analyzing the actual mechanics of the language, Casaubon noticed the manuscript used late Koine Greek.
Okay.
And that was a dialect that didn't even exist during the supposed time as ancient Egypt.
Oh.
He also found concepts that were directly lifted from the Gospel of John.
Oh, wow. So it was pretty obvious once he looked.
Yeah. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Casaubon completely destroyed the text's ancient authority. I mean, once Hermes Trismegistus was exposed as just a mythological construct, the scientific community totally scrambled to divorce itself from the magic.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Does the fact that it was a forgery invalidate the massive scientific progress it inspired?
Not at all.
Right. It proves that sometimes simply believing in a powerful myth is enough to literally change the world. Like, the belief in the magic was the bridge we needed to get to the science.
It's a great reminder, honestly. Paradigm-shifting inspiration can come from incredibly flawed or entirely unexpected sources in our own lives.
Absolutely. Which actually brings us to a final detail from your notes that flips this entire story on its head.
Oh, the Hanegraaff argument.
Yeah. Modern scholar Luder Hanegraaff points out that Marsilio Ficino, that translator Cosimo de' Medici, rushed back in 1463. Well, he actually sanitized the text.
He really did. Ficino was a Christian intellectual, so he filtered out the truly extreme visceral rituals.
Because the original texts weren't meant to be polite philosophy.
Right. They were radical manuals detailing how to induce ecstatic hallucinatory visions. They described this violent, overwhelming influx of the divine mind.
Jeez.
Yeah. Often requiring intense sensory deprivation. Ficino just smoothed all of that out into safe, philosophical reading.
So let me get this straight. Humanity jailbroke the cosmos based on a polite, highly edited misinterpretation of a 3rd century forgery.
Pretty much, yeah.
What if the Renaissance completely missed the true, raw experience of Hermeticism? I mean, think about that the next time you're handed a pristine, translated version of the truth.